Welcome to the third episode of the NASCAR Hotspot podcast. We got me, Chris, we got Troy, Kenny, and Mike. Those two are, well, Kenny's not new, but, Mike is new today. We're going to be here talking about an exciting weekend in both Elkhart Lake and the Irish Hills of Michigan. Posted historical doubleheader weekend for the Cup Series that had one manufacturer, one team, and mostly one driver just dominate the weekend. Let's get into the topics of the weekend.
Yeah, it sure was an exciting and action-packed weekend.
They definitely had a lot of I think Michigan was a lot better this year than it has been the past couple of years.
Yeah, these races definitely up last year or whatever we had last year in these races. Overall, I'd say Road America's also better than last year.
Road America was
Truth
definitely better.
Definitely made it interesting.
Yeah. All right, so we started the week off last week that Levine Family Racing was sold to Spire, it looks like. I don't know if it's official yet, but there's been tweets about it, and I'm pretty sure that they bought it. They bought Levine Family Racing and pretty much everything that goes with it except like the Gibbs Alliance and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of what I heard too. I'm pretty sure the charter sale was official, and that way also they're building. That way they can upgrade their facilities and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sold everything but the cars. The cars go back to JGR.
Yeah. And then we had we saw this coming from like 2 years ago. Once Bell started just kicking butt in Xfinity and everyone. But Bell, it's official to the 20 car for 2021. He gets 100%, gives equipment, and nothing less.
Yeah, that'll be great to see for him. I mean, we all saw this coming. There was no surprise with it. As soon as they announced that Jones wasn't coming back to the 20, we all knew right away that Bell was definitely taking over that 20 car.
Yeah, now this leaves up the question. There's a big question up. Where will Jones go? Because there's no like obvious choice or like owner that'll be like, oh, they'll definitely bring him in. It's all like different manufacturers, completely different teams that have a big chance right now to pick up a really solid driver that could definitely win a lot of races and maybe contend for something more than just the playoffs in the years coming.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Mike, Kenny, where do you think Jones could end up going?
I'm thinking.
I'd say the obvious is the two obvious choices are definitely Chip Ganassi and definitely Hendrick. But now that I'm thinking about it, I can't think of their team, but 34 is not a strong driver. But I think if they were to put John Hunter and Eric Jones together, I think they could be starting something there.
That is true.
Yeah, it's a solid pick.
Yeah, people are forgetting that Boyer hasn't made a new contract at Haas for the following season. So the 14 is kind of like an open ride right now that we could see Jones at. There's a possibility if they don't want to rush Briscoe or they don't want to re-sign Boyer. Jones can also be there. There's a lot of sponsorship there. There's no reason.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? What do you think?
I honestly think he's going to take over the 43. I think Bubba's going to leave Richard Petty and head over to Chip Ganassi.
Yeah, it's definitely. If he goes there, he'll definitely upgrade the team in a bit. He'll probably bring new sponsors and everything. So yeah, he'll definitely make this team bigger.
Yeah, it'll be
and help
interesting
them.
to see what happens. It'll be interesting.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah. I think there's a good chance.
If you look at the hit, go on.
I think there's a good chance we see Jones either the 43 or the 48 because Hendrick's just about given up on trying to get a veteran driver at this point. I mean, there's no one really available worth going out and getting. The only problem I see with him going to the 43 would be lack of sponsorship because he really only has Reese, whichever that is.
Yeah.
And all the rest are basically Gibbs sponsorships. That's going to stay at that 20 car.
Yeah, we don't know if any sponsorships will leave if Bubba leaves the team. Because let's be real, like most of the sponsors are there because one is the 43 and two, it's Bubba Wallace. He gets a lot of like media around him at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So when he leaves, there'll definitely be a good loss in sponsorship for Richard Petty Motorsports.
Yeah, that could be a negative for them going forward. I mean, they're on the right track right now, especially with what Bubba mentioned before. Was it before Sunday's race? Or was it after?
No, it was before.
It was before. Yeah, so that could be the main thing to quote from that was he said this new big deal that could be a thing could send us over the top, which I found to be really interesting, and we still haven't heard yet what exactly that is.
Yeah, certainly will be interesting. Okay, so the week started off trucks at Michigan. That was one interesting race. It started out great racing. Well, it was great racing the whole entire time, but there was caution after caution after caution in the end. Guys kept crashing. We had big ones. Sauter crashed from the lead. He was trying to get the lead, trying to get himself into the playoffs, and he spun and dug him a deeper hole now into playoffs. It's over 100 points out now, which is really big. It's really surprising.
Yeah, I think the trucks have honestly produced some of the best racing at Michigan over the past couple of years, hands down. I mean, yes, it's a caution fest, and that's the stuff everyone likes to see as a common fan perspective. But no, it's really been great to watch the trucks really kind of get that fan appeal, especially at certain tracks where you see the other series go to.
Yeah, I'm always pumped for trucks at Michigan. I remember last season when it was the regular season cutoff, it was really good racing. There's a lot of lead changes in the end. I've always loved it. It's always great. Never fails to entertain.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the truck race?
Mike and Kenny.
I didn't get to see the end, but from what I saw, it was a really fun race to watch. So I know that ended pretty late, but I unfortunately had to go to a hockey game right towards the end of the race, so I missed the finish.
Yeah, it went later than a lot of people thought it would. So that's understandable. I watched it on my phone. I was over with my friends. Still watched it.
Yeah, I was watching it on my phone on my trip up to New Hampshire.
Yeah, I bet everyone was like, when will this sneaking race end? Yeah, it ended in a lot of stuff. In finger, he dominated the races up front all race. Ended up spinning himself off of John Hunter's bumper in the end and killing his chances of win, which was crazy. That NASCAR did not throw the caution there. Kind of understandable, though. Even though a truck did spin. There's no damage or any of that. They kept going. But yeah, we had a battle of the rookies. I think they're both rookies. Battle of the rookies in the end. Both young stars trying to get their first truck win. And Zane Smith on the final lap. Got by Christian Eckes.
It was great to see Zane Smith win. Honestly, GMS is probably my favorite team as a whole in the truck series just because they all got guys on their team that you would want to root for over certain other teams. But it was really good to see him win. I think you bring up that no caution at the end. It was getting really close to the sun just not being there. It was basically turning into the Indy Cup race or the Pocono race. Yeah, the sun was just going away. So that might have been the reason why they ended it. I mean, you've seen NASCAR be inconsistent with cautions at the end, and that also might have been a factor of the TV broadcast kind of being like, all right, we need to wrap this up because we know how tight NASCAR really tries to be with the broadcasting companies. So that might have been a reason. I thought it was a great race overall, though, definitely. Mike, what do you think?
I thought it was really good racing. A lot of different things. Lot of surprises, especially with the leader getting wrecked multiple times. It was good, close racing. I do agree with NASCAR for not throwing the caution at the end. Let them race it out. There was nobody that was in harm's way. And they were cutting it really tight, and I don't think they'd have been able to get another green-white checkered in, to be honest, if they would have called a caution.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
definitely. It was cutting it close there.
Yeah, and then after that, we had the next day, the Xfinity Series. Yeah, it was the next day. Yeah,
Yeah, it was the next day. It was at like
next
noon.
day. Yeah, the Xfinity Series went up to Elkhart Lake and raced at Road America, and
Yeah, it sure was crazy. We made it like 5 laps, and then there was rain, and then there was lightning, and then there was an hour and a half of a red flag, which
right when they were getting the cars ready to go again, lightning struck again.
yeah, that was it got annoying and boring and everything, but we got back racing, and it did not disappoint. Racing in the rain.
Those rain tires. Oh man, just watching NASCAR race in the rain. Oh, what a sight to see. Like, we don't get to see that often. So when it does happen at the road courses, it's
amazing.
Great. Yeah.
Hey, we all know Daytona road course this weekend. Good chance for rain there.
Yeah, there's supposed to be rain at Daytona this weekend.
Mike, what did you think of
hopefully tops in one of them.
I didn't really watch too much of it. I seen the end of it. It was pretty interesting. I watched from when Allgaier wrecked, but I think Allmendinger really did have the car to beat, and he just couldn't execute in time.
I don't know. All the caution and stuff like that came out kind of killed Allmendinger's rhythm. He was one of the fastest, definitely, but he didn't have enough time to be able to go through the field and be able to like catch the leader. Like he needed a lot more time than he got, especially with the cautions and the amount of strategy that everyone had. We saw like Josh Bilicki and Alex Labbe leading laps and battling for the lead up front. It slowed him up. It messed up his day, and that let Austin Cindric just dominate. He proves again how amazing of a road course racer that guy is.
Whenever we go to the road courses in the Xfinity Series, you always got to expect Allmendinger and Cindric to be up there because those guys just know how to run road courses. I mean, there's no one else. I mean, you can throw Briscoe in there sometimes. Obviously, we saw with Indy, but that was due to rough racing. But besides those top three, it'd be a surprise to see someone else, maybe Allgaier, if he gets the right strategy. Besides that, you got to expect those three to be up front.
Yeah, the difference they have, they could run it smooth, they could run fast, but it's rare to see them make a mistake. And when they make a mistake, you got to pounce on them. And sometimes the competitors miss that. Like Briscoe capitalized on that, but like I did not see Cindric make like a single mistake all race.
Dude had the strategy down because he was one of the first guys. Oh no, he was the first one that said openly before they pitted that he was going to put intermediates on, and it was pretty good to see that.
Yeah, he had the experience over the field, most of the field at least.
Yeah, and then we head back to Michigan later in the day for the first race there for the Cup Series, and let's just be real, Harvick just
dominated.
He didn't
no touch the guy. It's 2020. As Kyle was saying, still 2020, and Harvick dominated. didn't like slip up. Rare that he slipped up. Yeah, he held off Keselowski. Keselowski almost got that Michigan win. Close
So good.
again. That guy's got to wait another year. But Harvick again, and that really nice looking Busch Apple scheme. He won. It was an overtime finish. A lot of crashes. Well, yeah, a good amount of crashes. It was definitely entertaining in the end, especially for Michigan and what the package has.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the first race?
They definitely produced some phenomenal restarts, including that last one. I thought Blaney was going to give him a run. He needed another lap. I think he could have got up there. He had a really strong car. Also, Truex had a really good restart at the end. Definitely was a lot better than in years past for sure. I liked what they added with the PJ1 in the turns. It definitely gave more options instead of just running it as a bottom feeder. Definitely would like to see Michigan on the track or on the schedule twice again next year. It was really good, in my opinion. Besides Harvick leading the whole race, but
Can't
Yeah.
help that. It's Harvick at Michigan.
Yeah, it's Harvick at Michigan.
it's
So
inevitable.
he's unstoppable. Yeah.
5 races for him now.
Yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
from Harvick, a more complete opposite. What happened to John Hunter Nemechek in that race?
Well, one time he just got completely spun. I know that. Like someone just came up and just cleaned him out. And then the other 2 times, what has happened to
What
him?
happened?
He
Yeah.
started off so good after we came back, and the past
Yeah, he's hitting
5
one
weeks?
of those summer slumps that we see drivers have. Bowman's experiencing it. Yeah, a couple drivers are going through it. It's hurting them in points. Bush is going through it. He's slowly recovering, but he was hitting it before between Pocono and New Hampshire. He was at a low moment, and hopefully the season goes up for him.
Kenny, what did you think of the first race?
It was pretty good. Definitely the choose cone made it a lot more interesting because different drivers got to the front when they were rows back if they were to run it. And they actually were able to get the lead off of it, like Chase Elliott on that one restart where he started on the inside and moved up probably like 6 positions or something like that.
Yeah.
4. He went from 5th
And
to lining up on the inside.
Yeah, he got the shove to the lead.
Mhm.
It was just really interesting.
The choose cone really let the drivers really kind of take control. I was listening to the scanner when I was at work, and I remember one of them. There was one guy that I couldn't tell because it was just on the All Scanners channel, and you just hear the spotter go 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 guys to the outside, go inside. So it was a great way to see the spotters and drivers really connect more than they normally would. So
Yeah, the choose cone really, I liked it a lot.
mm-hmm.
It made for some really good strategy, and it's a smart move. It helped out Bubba Wallace a lot. We saw him on one of the last restarts. He got into the inside lane. He was like the second or third one in the inside lane. And he got a run, and he went for it in the middle. Didn't work out with the package, but he went for it. And the choose cone really shows that like it gives another opportunity. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, definitely stops the drivers from being like, oh, I restarted in this lane, I messed it up or whatever. And it's like, well, now you got to take blame for yourself if that happens because you're the one that chooses it. So,
yeah, you used to kill like a lot of drivers' races starting on that lane, and like they couldn't help it. They couldn't help starting on the inside at that point, but now they can. They have the option, and they can improve their position easily.
Yeah, it's great to see that. I honestly like it. I wasn't sure what to expect with when they originally used it at Bristol, but then when they said they're using it for this weekend and any tracks guy on super speedways and road courses, it definitely gave for some exciting restarts to see guys that maybe normally wouldn't be up there. All of a sudden, they're starting like 7th on the restart or something like that, and you just see them try to make moves. And like you said with Bubba, I mean, he shot up to 4th and then dropped back immediately in the turn because of the package.
Yeah.
So, well, and then Harvick dominates race 1. We had a day 2. We got the ARCA series running at noon, and Brad Holmes looks like he was on his way to another win until that second race break, and
Yeah,
Riley Herbst was
yeah, it definitely hurt him, and then Riley Herbst just came in there.
Riley Herbst winning a race.
Wow, he finally got one. It took like 51 starts and 2 wins. That's top level stuff. That's Riley Herbst. But yeah, it was definitely interesting to watch, and it was a solid race for ARCA. ARCA hasn't like been too good, but it was all right.
Seems like it went by really quick.
Yeah.
Flew with it. So, move on from the inexperienced drivers to all of a sudden the top boys.
Yeah. So we start out before the race even starts. 11 drivers go to the back between adjustments, backup cars, and they're placing a lot of stuff. It was a lot. It changed up the order, the starting order, the invert, and stuff like that, big time. And it definitely gave way to a lot of guys on the playoff bubble to get points. Byron got a lot of points in the first stage. Jones moved up quick, and Boyer was unstoppable the first stage because he had the clean air. He was gone. Yeah, it was nice to see him get points. He hasn't been doing that well lately.
No, it was definitely nice to see him get some points because he's been lacking quite a bit lately because, I don't know, for whatever reason, he's just not being able to finish races. So it was really nice to see him get the stage win and all that. And then we saw DiBenedetto get points. He needed those. Obviously, you said with Byron and Jones. And was Jimmy 10th or was he 11th at the end?
He was 11th. He fell back once he got past for second. He just went straight to the back, and he struggled to get the points he really needed in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely good to see for some of the drivers for sure. And yeah, that started with 11 guys going to the back. I think did it end up being 13 total that failed, or because 2 failed inspection or something like that?
Yeah. I think that was the thing. There was a lot of drivers in the end. It definitely shook up what was the first stage and helped a lot of drivers, hurt a few drivers in points.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely interesting to watch. Watch guys like Keselowski, Harvick, Busch, Truex move through the pack with they didn't move too quick because of the package, but it was neat to watch guys that you don't normally see up front battling for top points because every point means a lot more to them than what third would mean the fourth over like Keselowski and stuff like that. So it was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously it's only for the first stage because by the time the stage ended, all the guys were right there ready to go that normally would be up front. So by the time second stage got rolling, they wiggled their way up to the front and were like, all right, so back to normal. And
yeah, Harvick went to the front. Surprise.
Yeah. Harvick got big help by his crew after that first stage, 6 positions.
Yeah, he had phenomenal stuff. That was wild to see.
Mm-hmm.
They really jumped on the competitors there.
Yeah, and then with that, dominate stage 2, and we're like, all right, that's normal.
Yeah, stage 2 was our boring stage. The package, once you get like strung out and a lot of green flag, it's not much strategy. It gets boring. I was contemplating taking a nap. I'm not gonna lie. I stayed up, and we head to stage 3, and Amarola and his team have a miscommunication. Yeah, they were like hot dog, and I guess like hot dog meant pit, but in Eric's car, I mean stay out. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that. That was weird. It's rare you see that, but
Yeah, that was definitely them mixing up sheets for sure. But that hurt him a lot. But then at the end, no, yeah, that hurt him a lot.
it hurt him a
I thought
lot
he was.
in the beginning. But then once we had a big turning point in the race when Keselowski wrecked out Blaney fighting for the lead, definitely changed a lot in the race.
Yeah, being the Penske fan that I am, that one hurt to see, especially being from Michigan too. Hoping Brad would finally get a win at Michigan, and it looked like he had a legit shot because those two
Oh,
were the
he
only
did.
ones to. Those two
Battle
were the only
Harvick.
ones to really contend with Harvick. And
Yeah, and before they wrecked, we actually had some pretty good racing. It was nice. It was a good race between Hamlin, Harvick, Blaney, and Keselowski there. They were mixing it up good. A lot of close racing. It's pretty good to
yeah,
see. That
yeah,
helped Amarola a lot in that because he would have to pit laps later, but it helped us finish. Even though did he get a top 10? I think he got a top 10. He ended up
I
finishing
want
top
to
10.
say he got up to sixth or something like that.
Yeah,
Let me
Yeah,
double
I
he
know
check.
he
definitely
got
didn't
top
fall back
10.
too far.
Yeah, he ended up getting sixth. So yeah, that helped him out a lot. And there were some good runs from guys, surprisingly. Jimmy ended up finishing 11th. Byron
Yeah,
ended up 12th. So that was good for him because he's been slacking. I mean, that team as a whole
oh,
has been
it's it's
lacking.
it's hurt. It hurts to see. The team as a whole has been lacking on 2 mile tracks. Even though they did well at Auto Club, Michigan and Hendrick the last couple of years too. They've kind of like they have work to do definitely. But
Shoot. I mean, go ahead.
oh um but yeah, there's a lot of work on there, and even with Jones, he blew a transmission. Something happened in the end with only
Yeah.
like a few laps to go. He finished like 27th, which was like out of nowhere. NBC didn't cover it, but he fell back, and that hurt him in points a lot because he had a top 5 going, and if he kept like the top 5, then it would only been like 8 points or like 10 points by the cutoff to
Mhm.
Byron.
Yeah. So now him and Johnson are both tied at 26 back. And Tyler Reddick really struggled to gain any points too because he dropped back to 36 back after only being, 15 entering the weekend?
Yeah, he
So,
he struggled a lot at Michigan. There is something
mhm.
way off for Childress and everything. He struggled a lot in that entire weekend.
Shoot,
It
not
hurt
even
him.
Childress, Chevy as a whole. I mean, sure, they
Yeah,
finished 8th through 12th, but that was their only solid runs. I didn't even notice Matt Kenseth finished top 15. He got 15th. Like,
yeah, it's
um,
tough. Yeah, Ford is definitely. They had the entire weekend except trucks, I bet, and ARCA. They had Xfinity, both cup races. They had it all covered. They were unstoppable.
yeah, I mean, shoot. And then if Sauter didn't basically, take himself out, him and Enfinger would have raced for the win. So
Yeah.
two bad moves total because then Enfinger pulled that bad block. Ford could have taken the weekend except for ARCA, which that
Yeah.
would have been wild.
That would have been
But
wild. That definitely would have been crazy stuff if Ford just swept everything.
it seems like
Um, as
Chevy's
we've
really.
said a lot of times, Harvick won. It was a pretty intense finish for Michigan in recent years. Harvick was there. I mean, Hamlin was there. Harvick made a couple mistakes. He had to get out of the gas a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that showed the one downside of the package though, because Denny was under a second behind him for the final 9 laps,
Yeah.
and he
He
couldn't.
couldn't
The
pass.
most he could do was get up to his bumper, like not even. It's almost
Yeah.
like that bubble effect was kicking in for the package, and you're just like, come on, why? I mean, Denny had a chance to pass him coming out of 2 with, 2 to go, and they both had to check up.
Yeah, they both had to check up.
So,
Harvick would have Hamlin would have definitely had him if they both didn't have to check up there. Yeah, they were under second the entire time. And if Harvick just kept running the outside in every turn, I bet he would have held him off easier. But for some reason, he kept going low in some turns, Hamlin high, and Hamlin would just close on corner exit, especially out of 4.
oh yeah, especially on the final lap. All of a sudden, it was 0.4 of a second between the two, and next thing you know, he's about to pass him at the stripe.
Yeah, if that stripe was just a little bit further down the track, they would have been close.
Yeah, it definitely provided for some excitement to see. With Harvick winning, he ties Rusty Wallace for 10th all time at 55 wins.
Yeah,
One spot behind Kyle Busch, 1 win behind Kyle Busch. Who would have thought that entering the year?
I would never have thought that. I thought when Busch passed Harvick in the wins list, that Busch was gone. There was no way Harvick was going to somehow catch back up and pass him back. No, he was just going to stay behind him the entire way up whenever they end. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. He's 2 wins away from just passing him. And Busch will have to pass him back again. And it'll be a fight up the wins list.
I think in the final, we're now in the final 14 races of the season. Kyle will probably win a race or 2 because we're heading to a lot of tracks that favor him.
Yeah.
But with this year, we're also heading to a lot of tracks that favor Harvick. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how that develops. What did you guys think of the ARCA race and the second Michigan race?
I didn't get to see the ARCA race, but the second Michigan race was pretty good. Finish was really fun to watch, though it sucked with the package not being able to pass. If Hamlin could have gotten there, I would have loved to see Hamlin at least get to the quarter panel, because he could have used the side draft and going down the backstretch, and it would have been real tough fight in the final corner, but can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. Mike, what did you think?
Yeah, the second race was going really well for me in fantasy, and then Brad decided to kill Blaney. And yeah, those were the 2 cars I think that could have beat Harvick on Sunday. But it wasn't as good as Saturday. It was still good, but it wasn't as good as Saturday. Finish was awesome though. I think Hamlin could have got him if he had another lap or so.
Yeah, that's true. He definitely had a legit shot at
yeah, definitely.
It. But and then with Harvick's win too, he also becomes the first guy to win Cup races on back-to-back days since 1971, when the King himself did it. So that's always good company to be in when your name is mentioned alongside his.
Oh, definitely. That must be something pretty big for Harvick. He's in a class with him and Petty. Yeah, that's a pretty big stuff. It was one hell of a weekend. Definitely.
Yeah, and with the weekend gone in Michigan, we now head for the unknowns of the Daytona road course.
Oh my God, everything is unknown. We have no practice. We have nothing to go off of. It's gonna be send him into turn 1 and just whatever happens. And it's gonna be crazy.
I guarantee you those boys are going to be spending a lot of time on iRacing and the simulators over this week. They'll probably be like, yeah, I spent somewhere 60 hours on it. Be like, what?
Yeah, they got to get as much as they can. And I saw Chase Elliott did an interview, and he said that iRacing still doesn't give as much as to what you actually need to know running on the track. And that just into turn 1, he doesn't know where to brake or any of that. It's a complete unknown.
Yeah. Kenny and Mike, what do you think of the upcoming weekend?
So many unknowns.
It's
a lot of questions.
Scary.
One at a time, boys.
Definitely gonna be scary if there's rain.
Yeah.
Oh, rain! If
Yeah.
rain comes, the whole field's done for.
Oh my god.
There's gonna be like 3 cars are at the finish, and it's gonna be like the best road course racers in the field.
Yeah.
Just imagine rain to start the race too. Oh, turn
Oh, no.
one.
Any restart.
No.
If there's any restart that contains rain, it's over for the field.
It's gonna be so bad.
Yeah.
Any restart involving tire wear.
Oh.
Too.
Yeah, it's gonna be really crazy. That's why I'm not even worried about the 26-point gap that's in the playoffs. It's not even in my mind because that's gonna close up quickly in a matter of laps in the road course, definitely.
Out of the guys on that bubble, I feel like Byron needs to be really scared for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy's ran the track enough times. Granted, it was in prototypes, but he's ran it enough times to know. I feel like he's got to be worried about McDowell too, because he's ran it as many times as Jimmy has. And then maybe we see Kyle, finally break his slump, and that'll unleash the demon that none of us want to see.
Yeah. He's probably one of the favorites for the race. Definitely the guys that have like the most experience with the favorites. But Kyle's the most recent. With the car that's like similar to Cup cars, the most similar as you can get in IMSA that they run there. Mike,
Yeah.
what do you think about what's coming up?
A lot of questions to be answered. We won't know anything till Sunday. Whether how turn one goes, it's all going to be just drive and learn for the drivers. That's all it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be like a survival of the fittest, kind of like the clash, where it's just going to be the last car left is going to be the winner. I don't think there's going to be a lot of cars left, to be honest. I feel like there's going to be a lot of wrecks, a lot of spin-outs, and a lot of questions about the new chicane, too. It should be interesting to see how that's going to be and what could happen at the end.
Yeah,
if it comes down to two guys.
That'll be interesting with that basically front stretch chicane, however you want to classify it as, based on its location. It'll definitely help with the speed entering turn one, but the unknown of coming off of turn four. So it'll definitely be, turn four on the oval, I should say, because that ends up being turn 12 or 13 on the road course.
Turns there are on the road course. I've lost count. I can't remember that stuff. I'm not good at that stuff. But I bet in the beginning, a lot of experienced drivers, especially like Busch, Johnson, Harvick, there's going to be a lot of like letting go. There's going to be a lot of like sacrificing points. Like you rather like race like a guy like Byron or something for 10th of points in the beginning, or would you rather just like let it go and just chill out and just learn the course and get used to it? So by the time you're at the end, if you make it to the end, you're there and you're ready and you're confident in yourself.
I think it'll definitely be coming down to who can get the most used to the track. Also, it depends on where you're starting, because with the new starting format towards 35, 50, 15. So I know you had it on your story, the breakdown of where people are going to more than likely be starting. So, and Harvick seems the most worried about it, and he's like, I have no idea where I'm going.
He's gonna get it all on the start. Whatever happens is going straight to him, going straight to his bumper.
Hopefully he's not running a special scheme. So
If I were them, I would replace an engine last second and be like, oh, we gotta be in the back now. I'm going to the back.
I would honestly do that if I was him. I would want no part of being
We would bring like
field.
a really bad engine and be like, oh, this engine sucks or whatever, and just like bring out the backup or whatever it is. Just to start in the back and just be safe.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, I'd be more concerned if I were guys like Keselowski, Blaney, Bowman, starting a little bit further back and with a lot of unknowns and not a lot of experience back there, it could get real dicey.
Yeah. And we came back from tempers. There's going to be a lot of tempers.
Yeah, people are not going to be liking each other after this weekend.
Definitely after, like, I bet, like, the first lap, there's going to be a lot of stuff because guys are going to be, I bet, like, there's going to be a couple cars going to be pushed off into the grass or, like, the pavement out of turn 1, the runoff area. It's going to be a lot of guys going out there. Definitely.
I haven't seen how much room there's going to be for runoff area because they come back out basically right next to it almost. So I have no idea how much room they're going to have. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm sure that there's got to be a lot because these things do not hit the brakes like any series in IMSA does.
You gotta time it like before you think you would want to break it. And that's going to be a problem, especially in the first, like, 3 or 4 laps. It's going to be a big problem braking and when you brake.
Yeah, that'll be go ahead, Kenny.
There's probably going to be a lot of playing the game telephone going on because ARCA drivers are probably going to give info to truck drivers who are going to give info to Xfinity to Cup.
That's very true.
Be a lot of studying.
Yeah, that's definitely. You could always lean on. Also, I was thinking, like, pre-race, a lot of teammates, and I bet, like, even if we're not on the same team, like, competitors will, like, build up something and, like, take notes. A lot of people better be going to Kyle and asking them questions, and Kyle can only give them so much since a stock car is a lot heavier than a GTLM. But still.
I see there's really only a couple people I see from the ARCA race really going to be able to give advice to anyone above. It also depends. I mean, obviously we want to have Riley Herbst racing in the ARCA race, so that cancels that out. So whoever's running that 18 car, probably be Ty Gibbs. Is he running this weekend?
I don't think he could run road courses. I don't even know what he could run.
I'll say oh no, you don't have the ARCA entry list on your story. I was going to check that.
No.
But no, I think the only one that'll be able to give like any valuable information are probably Deegan, and I feel like Dollar for whatever reason is going to be able to give info up to people. Deegan especially because she's already ran there. She ran the Michelin Pilot Challenge.
Oh yeah.
So she's already have experience this year with cars probably even more similar to any other of the stock cars.
Yeah, those cars are really they're also really heavy, and you gotta like time it. They're not like nearly as like the prototypes or GTLMs. They're heavy and stuff like that. It's gotta be something similar like that. I bet without a doubt the Xfinity will be a lot better racing wise. You have a lot of guys that have experience in Xfinity that are running. It's gonna be really cool. You just gotta trust everyone behind them, and yeah.
We'll see like 4 or 5 guys that are gonna be up front the entire time, maybe 6. We'll see, Briscoe, Cindric, Allgaier, Allmendinger. Gregson was really impressive at Indy, so I think he could, do something at Daytona, and then Alex Labay, even with the.
We can't leave out like guys like Earl Bamber. He's gonna be running in it. Andy Lally's in it.
Yeah.
There's a good amount of road course ringers that are gonna be in this. That Cindric definitely won't be pulling away, even with his experience. He won't be pulling away.
No, it'll be. I mean, you're going to Daytona, so regardless of which form of Daytona you're running, you want to win there. But especially when you're running the road course, I mean, the road course's history and the Speedway's history are honestly just about equal in their own levels. So if you're going to Daytona, you want to win there. It's like when they went to the Xfinity Series, went to the road course at Indy. Every guy that was up at the front wanted to win there at the end because of just the history of the place. So it'll definitely be interesting across all 4 series to see who really wants to put their name on the list first. So
Yeah.
mhm.
Winning picks. Who do you think is gonna survive whatever is gonna happen?
Who do we think's gonna win?
Who's gonna win? Kenny, who do you think's gonna win?
We'll start with
I
the
gotta
truck.
go with Kyle Busch.
Oh, okay.
Oh
We'll
wait,
go with
trucks.
Yep, we'll go. All right. We've got 3 races or
In
4, but yeah. Anyways,
trucks, I think it could be. Lassard probably. I think he could go good in that. Xfinity, obvious Cindric. And then Cup, I think Kyle Busch because of the GKLM experience at Daytona.
all right. Mike, who do you think's gonna get the job done in the 3 series?
For the trucks, I'm gonna go Tagliani just on a swing pick. I think Allmendinger will take care of business in the Xfinity, and in the Cup, I like Jimmy Johnson. I think he's gonna surprise. He's got to get a win before he retires. I think this could be his chance.
Sure, you want to go, or you want me to?
I'll drop my picks.
All right.
I think the truck race. I think Alex Tagliani is like the favorite. He's the one that stands out in that. He's got one of the best equipment out there, and he's probably one of the most experienced or the experienced to run that course. He's definitely up there. Xfinity. I always go with Allmendinger on road courses, and I'll continue that. Allmendinger will win. And Cup. I don't know. I still think Harvick's going to continue it. I don't think this is going to slow him down a bit.
Interesting. For the trucks, I'll take Tagliani too. I just think there's no way to go against him. Like, how do you go against that? He's in a
The
KBM
entire
truck.
field, bro.
Yeah, he's in a KBM truck. There's no way to go against that, especially with how much road course experience he has. In the Xfinity series, I'm gonna go Briscoe. He ran the Michelin Pilot Challenge earlier this year. Yeah,
He's not that inexperienced. I don't see him falling back much.
Yeah, so I'll take him there, and then with Cup, God, there's so many guys there's so many unknowns with Cup. Honestly, I'm gonna go on a limb and say Truex. Truex is gonna get the job done.
It's definitely possible. Anyone's pretty much possible.
Yeah.
JJ Yaley can win for all we know, and I wouldn't be
God.
surprised. This is what
Quinn
you get
Huff.
not putting practice or qualifying and just run it.
Quinn Huff is gonna win the race. No.
Oh my God. Rip
Brendan Gaughan.
Rip NASCAR, Instagram, and Twitter, and everyone.
Oh my God. Everyone would lose their mind. No.
Everyone would be so happy though if Gaughan won.
Well, yeah, if Gaughan won, but imagine if Quinn Huff won. I think NASCAR Twitter would cease to exist at that point.
Oh my God. There's so many things that would just like kill NASCAR Twitter. One day they're gonna happen, and I'll be there laughing. It's gonna be, oh my God, NASCAR Twitter.
Oh, bad.
One place.
But with that, I think we've just about gone over everything. Is there anything else?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We've drawn a lot out. We'll start with our final thoughts. Kenny, final thoughts? You got anything to say?
I don't got much left to talk about. We covered a lot, right?
Yeah, we definitely said a lot. Mike, final thoughts?
All I gotta say is boys have at it this weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Oh my God, I can invite some friends over today to this weekend or whatever. This is gonna be one for the history books, definitely. We're gonna
I'm excited.
We're gonna be looking back on this. Remember that time we had like 45 cautions at Daytona?
45 cautions and 30 laps. We'll do the math later.
Yep, exactly.
Do the math later.
Oh man, no, dude. I'm excited to see what the weekend's gonna bring. There's a lot of racing, a lot of history with the road course, and a lot of inexperience across the board. So it'll definitely be, I'll say, exciting racing for the casuals. For us, I mean, it'll be exciting for
I'll
us
be
too.
excited either way.
Yeah,
I'll be
I'm
like, bring in all the
excited.
crashes. I want to see who gets out of it alive.
Dude, it's honestly like an all-star race, but there's points in the picture.
No
It's
one's
gonna be
even
the
no one's
clash.
even thinking about points.
No, it's
You
gonna be
start
the
thinking about
clash.
points when there's like 10 laps left and there's like 10 cars on track. It's like, okay, who's left? What's going on here?
Dude, that's gonna be wild. Oh.
They're
But,
gonna have to throw on the lights. It's gonna run so late with all the cautions.
Throw like a red flag and they're just gonna start like zip tying lights to the cars.
Oh, you gotta think the truck race runs before the cup race, so the truck race has to finish before the
They're gonna
cup
have
race
to
can
end
even
that
start.
at night or something like that.
Oh man!
Because like the cup race is like the least experience. Like I don't know trucks. Trucks is Natalie Decker, so she's probably taking out a good bit.
No, is she running this weekend? No,
Yeah,
she
is.
isn't.
She's on the entry list. That's the
No.
first thing I checked.
No.
No, she's not. Are you serious?
I'm
Hold
Watch
on.
her win the race.
I will lose my mind.
Don't say that, Mike.
Oh my gosh, she is on the entry list. No. Oh man, no, this has been a fun episode. I honestly think we're getting better at this stuff.
Yeah, we're slowly developing. Next week we'll have loads of things to talk about. We'll have new people on that we're excited about, and it's gonna be fun. And it's been fun today. It was a great weekend, and yeah, it's time to get
time
it
to
done.
wrap her up. Time to wrap her up and send her home. So, about that, Kenny, Mike, Troy, until next time.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.